Mornings with Intention podcast where we bring you stories from around the globe. Hello and welcome to Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. Today I have a beautiful guest with me, Niki Hall, returning for another podcast with me. Hi, Niki, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. You're looking beautiful today, glowing, in fact. So, yeah,
Thank
nice to see you
you.
again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So please tell us a little bit about yourself for those who may have not seen your previous podcast, just a little bit about yourself and where you're from, please.
Okay, well, I'm Nikki Hall, and I've been a writer for some time, and I am now a full-time coach in mindset and success. I added the word success because the people that follow me and the mindset do what they are supposed to be doing have success. So now I threw in the success part. And I am an author of these compilation books. I have five behind me, and we're talking about one today, so that'll be six. With the first five, we are, or I am, a number one international best-selling author, chapter author. How would we put that, Ava?
Collaboration?
Collaboration, yeah.
Awesome. Well, so nice to have you back. And actually, together we will be in the same book. So I'm really excited. The name of the book is Yes, I Can and I Did. So, Nikki, what inspired you to say yes to being part of this book project? And how does this reflect your own journey of perseverance?
Ooh, those are loaded
I
questions.
know. I know
Let's
you can
go.
handle it. That's why I ask you.
How much time do we have?
You start now.
Okay, so I was just a child when, no, just kidding. Um, when this book came by, I didn't really pay attention to it when this opportunity came by at first, but then things started happening in my life, and I was approached to write a chapter in it. And this time I said yes, because I've just experienced something in the last, let's say 3 months. And it's basically my story of breaking free from scarcity, which is also the title of my piece that I wrote.
Wow,
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, so that's why I chose to write the book. And that was my motivation as well. Or what was the second part of your question?
How does it reflect your own journey of perseverance?
On my own journey of perseverance. Well, that really paid off big time because when you're doing mindset, it's hard to always believe or have faith or have the strength or have the will and have the courage and determination. But I did. And that really paid off in a big result this time. So that was the big reason why.
Hmm. So I kind of want to travel back in time and take us back to a time when someone told you, "Hey, Nikki, you can't do that." How did you turn that moment into motivation, perhaps?
Okay, so I got that a lot because I was different from most other kids. I saw my uniqueness and my differences from when I was a child. So I think that it was just a slow build on people saying, no, you can't, no, you can't, no, you can't. And at the same time, excuse me, I'm sweating here. At the same time, I'm the child of five. So I had the message of no, you can't, no, you can't, because one, I was always the youngest in the neighborhood. I was always the smallest. I was a girl. So, when there's a big neighborhood and there's a slight age difference, when you run and ask, hey, can I do that? They say, no, you can't. No, you can't. Get out of here, kid. Right? But also in my home, I had four siblings that was older than me, and they wanted to do things and they wanted to get away with this. So they would bring me over and they would say, hey, Nick, come here. We want you to do this. And I thought, I can't do that. But they're going, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So they were making me do things that was wrong or that was sneaky, like helping them sneak out the bedroom window so they could get out again. The mischievous stuff when we were kids. So I had those two things going where I really, my oldest sister is my model for who to be, how to walk, how to talk. And she was in that, yes, you can, yes, you can. So I had this battle going on. And then I think it was, well, I could tell you, it was from the eighth grade to the ninth grade when I knew I was born in 1960, which means in school you had to choose secretarial. When I went into high school, you're choosing secretarial. There was no other choice for women. And I talked to my family, I talked to my parents first, and then I talked to my siblings and said, I can't do this. I can't be a secretary. I've been taking the vacuum cleaners apart. I've been fighting with the boys. I've been, dirt biking and being part of a little dirt bike club. And this doesn't suit me. I can't all of a sudden, start wearing a dress and start sitting proper and typing and doing. So, it's like, I can't do this. So my parents, I said, would you be okay if I went into the tech wing in high school? And they said, nobody's done it. You can go talk to the principal, but nobody's done it. So I thought, yeah, I could do this. I thought
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of adopted my siblings where they were saying when it came down to mischief or kind of breaking the family rules and all that stuff, I had that application already within me. So the biggest no you can't was right there in my life. And I thought, what am I gonna do? So I went and talked to the principal and I kept telling myself I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And I ended up being the first girl in the tech wing, doing auto mechanics, drafting, electronics, all that stuff. So that was, from growing up and in there, that really gave me a solidity to, yes, I can.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I can relate to some stories you've been the ones you're telling to my stories through childhood. Yeah, the I dare you can do it, you can do it, all those things. So yeah, I remember, brings back memories.
Yeah, I think
But
we all feel that way.
yeah. So you've been author before in many books. So with this one, was there anything challenging about writing it in this particular chapter? And what did you discover, if so, about yourself through this process? Yet another book, because every time we write something, something new maybe surfaces. Maybe you see something and then you light. Was there anything new when you wrote this one, this chapter?
Well, this was the easiest one for me, believe it or not, because I had just gone through that experience of the discipline. Like when I started my program with my students, I told them, grab the big goal and I'm going to do this with you. And I was sincere and I was like, it was a crazy goal. I didn't think I could accomplish it. And that's the goal you want to put in there, right? So I said, I'm going to grow and learn with you and I'm going to do some of these adaptive things and we're going to move together. And then it manifested. So it was very easy for me to be able to tell a story here. But what happened, what I got out of the story was we still have human fearfulness when we achieve, and we
Mm-hmm.
still have certain concerns and, certain negative and naysayers once you get to another part. I busted out of one place, was elevated and living at a new level. And from, childhood, high school, university, other experiences, you feel the resistance of a growth. You feel that uh, when you level up, you feel that there's some people that if you allow it and if you hear them well enough, they could be a voice in your head that could become in agreement and stop you. So I had a little bit of fearfulness on sharing too much of it, getting slammed. I don't like getting slammed by people that I love or that I respect or that I think, yeah, I'm here. And they go, no, you're not. So in this, what I took from doing this piece, um, breaking free from the scarcity was it gave me a level of solidity and a level of peace because I said it, I wrote it, I just talked about it, and I put it out there. And the wonderful thing about this is, you don't get any resistance when you're writing it. I
Mm-hmm.
sent it in for editorial and they said, such a great story. Oh, So it really gave me affirmation to a certain growth level and a certain comfort level within myself. We're always growing. So it gave me a certain quiet level of peace and contentment that, until you level up, you don't recognize some things. Like, you go into a room and you think, oh, I know about this now. Yeah. And then you equate it to going into another room and you feel like, oh, I know nothing. I got to learn all this now.
Mm.
It's not really like that, but there are things that you don't know about when you level up until you level up and you get that experience. So I got that experience and I got a certain peace and I got a certain calm and I got a certain solidity of my own character, my own being, and my own intellect.
Awesome. So you've written solo books and you've written in collaboration books. So how does it feel or to write in collaboration books versus solo? And what is it like to write with other authors in books? Like I'm sure you've connected with others and what would you describe this experience as? Like I don't want to give away the the answer, but like I want it to come from you because I'm also, done collaboration books, but I've never done a solo. So how would you uh what would you say about that?
You want a comparison or do you want to know how I feel in collaboration?
Like because you've done both, and then how does it feel to collaborate with so many authors in the past, like basically?
Well, that is like one time there was an event where I was being brave with my former husband, and we went to an event that had everything to do with me. I walked into the room and I said, "Ah, there's a whole bunch of me's in here." And that's what you feel like when you're doing a collaboration book. You feel there's a whole bunch of me's in there, only with variations
Mm-hmm.
and they're all degrees of interest because you're all coming from the same core point or same core meaning of the book. So working in a collaboration book I find is a real joy and a real pleasure. Not only that, but if you're writing and you're thinking, oh, I feel a little disjointed here, or I feel a little, I don't know if the story's going to work. The energy from the group changes that. It gives you strength, it gives you courage, it gives you freedom, it makes you feel good. There's a lot that goes into or that you get back from a collaboration book that you wouldn't suspect and you certainly would never get from a book that you're writing by yourself. There's a beautiful energy, there's a beautiful momentum. You meet fantastic people and develop wonderful relationships, like I've done with Ava. Ava and I did have a little bit of a past prior to coming together, but we really kind of solidified our hearts and our natures and our growth and our networking through the collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Of
And
course.
it was so easy then.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Nikki's the one who got me into actually collaboration books. So thank you, Nikki. It's been a very, I would say, adventurous, fulfilling, excited journey. Like, and then you learn so much about yourself. Things like you mentioned earlier, like things you don't learn until you reach a certain level, and then you just keep going because you like it so
Yes,
much. Yeah.
yes. Yeah. And on the business side, it's great marketing. It's excellent marketing. And I'm thoroughly convinced that when I put an ad or a statement on my Facebook or in my web page, which is not on right now, by the way, don't look for the web page because it's being rebuilt. Let's say when I put a statement up in Facebook, there's an energy there. And I think that people could feel the energy of the collaboration project itself, which means if there's 30 women or 30 people that have written, I think there's a bigger movement of energy that presents itself in the statement.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. And as authors, we know that storytelling can be healing. How has has sharing your story helped you grow personally or professionally in any way?
Well, I think that's the experience of doing a collaboration or anthem book. It you do the first one and you're a little nervous and you're a little yay and you feel accomplished. You do your second one and you feel a little more stability within a certain part of yourself that you really didn't know was starving for recognition. And that's mostly self-recognition because a lot of us feel that we aren't artists and so on and so forth. So could never exist or live in a certain medium. And we did. And now we're self-published in this collaboration book. And it starts giving you this solidity and this wholeness to yourself. And it starts becoming a quiet identity where in your smile, maybe in the corner, in the little corners there or something, there's a there's a different sense of accomplishment. There's a different sense of who you are now. Um, that's what it did for me.
Awesome. So, in the book, it also kind of talks about the naysayers, prove the naysayers wrong. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone who's currently maybe facing doubt or discouragement?
Okay, so doubt and discouragement is from the outside. And as a mindset teacher, I would tell you that what they think and what they're imposing and causing on you is none of your business. It has nothing to do with you. It's all about something else on the outside of you. That is when you take the part of you that has creation, that is creation, that can do something like this, or create your own business, or be a mother, or whatever that is that causes you growth and recognition and intellect. You have to go from the inside out on that. Definitely don't listen to that. I really didn't like hearing somebody say that to me. Well, what they think or what they're doing to you is none of your business. And it's like, really? But once you get understanding mindset, once you get understanding yourself and your own conviction and strength, unless you want to let them make you feel that way, they'll never make you feel that way.
That's right. I love that. So yeah, we Nikki and I are very excited for the book to come out. I think it's sometime next month, hopefully, but definitely before Christmas. So we're both very excited. Now that the book is coming to life slowly, but it's coming, what's next for you? Like, how do you plan to continue? And I know you're a mindset coach, but how do you plan to continue sharing your message or of resilience and empowerment?
Well, I have 3 books that I'd like to produce myself. One is holistic intelligence. When you get a health diagnosis and you refuse to accept it or lose the quality of life that might come with. So you chip in and you go completely holistic and you bring yourself back to the forefront of good health. The second one is living with pain. When I was talking to other people about marketing and doing this book, a lot of the people turned to how much pain they live in. And then I didn't realize there are so much of us that live in pain. So I thought that would be an encouraging story to let people know, yeah, I have pain too, and this is how I deal with it. This is what I did. This is my story. And I I I turn into a bit of a smartass here, sorry. But the next book is the third book as well. If you don't have a holistic story and you don't have a pain story, I wrote the title is From Diaper to Diaper, Tell Me Your Best Life Story.
I like that one. That one's I like that.
So, people should be able to find themselves in one of those three books.
Yeah, and definitely if you'd like to connect with Niki, please do so. All the links will be posted in this video. Yes, we're super excited. And last question for you, of course, as I've asked you before on another podcast, Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention is the name of my podcast. How important do you think it's to set intention, either in the morning, throughout the day? What's your take on it?
Okay, so intention is part of the key. If you don't have intention, you're not going to get achievement. So it's very important that you learn, as Ava's trying to get us to do, is live, breathe, intention. I don't know why, but when I was first doing this, okay, so I started learning about self-improvement in the eighth grade. But while I was doing it and while I was growing up and while I was trying to get the goals in place and get what I thought should be the result, I never put intention in the equation.
Mm,
So of course I wasn't getting anywhere. If you don't have intention, you really have to take a big look at yourself and see where your steps are. And if you're not quite reaching your big goal, it really could be that you have to implement intention in your steps, in your nature.
yes. Like the story you tell about driving. If you really don't set that point where you want to drive to, how are you going to get there, right? So it's the same with intention, right, Nikki?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a thing, we think because we're in mindset and intention is like an intangible and it's a thing and we think it's new. It's not new. Look at your life. All that, like when you even, or look at your child when they were walking, there was a big intention there. I've never seen a human being flop down and say, yeah, I'm not a walker. There's intention.
Yeah.
When you want to go to school and you're scared for your first day, there's a lot of intention. When you make the choice to get your license, there's intention. You make the choice to move out of your house, there's intention. Everything you do has intention in the equation, or else it's just not going to happen.
That's right. Awesome, Nikki. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. And like I mentioned, all the contact will be posted in this video. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another podcast and all the exciting things that are coming up. We will be having launch party for the book and some other things. So we'll definitely post it and let you know. So please join us, connect with us. We're here to help you to grow and, transform your lives, get inspired. Maybe you're
Yes.
sitting on doing something and you just don't know where to start. We can guide you that direction too.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for listening and have a beautiful day. And thank you, Nikki, for coming on once again. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.